So I'm having a little trouble with this Ford Escape. The shifter will go back and forth from neutral to drive all by itself. So let's take a look at what's going on. Okay, well right now it's actually just stuck in reverse, even though the shifter is not in reverse. Oh, now it went to neutral. It's showing a fault in the PCM. And this right here is showing the transmission range sensor is not in self-test range. The reasons are misadjusted transmission range sensor or linkage. This DTC may be due to incorrect gear selection during self-test or an open circuit transmission range sensor harness wiring. TCM. Examine connectors for signs of damage, corrosion, water ingress, etc. P1705-00. So I'm going to get a transmission range sensor. We're going to go from there. Here is the new range sensor. It is located under the thermostat housing, of course. You can just see the plug peeking out from behind the radiator hose. So you gotta remove all these hoses to get the thermostat housing out of the way. First of all, pull this thing off to get it out of your way. Just twist and pull, it comes off. You don't need to remove the big lower hose, you just need to remove the big upper hose. And two hoses on the side, on the left side, and one hose going down into the top for the heater core. Just keep watching and you'll see exactly which hoses to take off. I removed that plug so I wouldn't risk damaging it in case the tool got caught on the wire and I decided to yank it. Here's the little hose that you can remove to give yourself a little more room to work. None of these hoses are as easy as I make them look to get off. So there's one hose, there's the other hose, and then there's that one for the heater core, just so you know exactly where they are. And this whole assembly can just push it out of the way. Now you can get a nice good shot at the range sensor. There are two 5/16 or 10mm bolts holding this in. You should also remove the plug before unbolting the range sensor. It's just easier to remove the plug when the sensor is stationary in there. because then you have both hands free to remove the plug, one hand to press the button, the other to pull the plug off. Just use both of your hands to kind of wiggle and pull up on the range sensor. It's installed onto a shaft that comes out of the transmission. Sounds crusty. The new one doesn't move that easily either. Now there is actually an adjustment that you need to perform to install this correctly. First of all, put your transmission in neutral, put your e-brake on, and when the transmission is in neutral, these two thin black lines need to line up. So while your transmission is in neutral, install the range sensor. Once you have it installed onto that shaft, you can adjust it slightly by turning it before tightening down the screws. Once you have those lines aligned, tighten the screws, plug it back in, and you're done. I actually had to sand the shaft a little bit to make it easier to get this to go on. And as long as your shifter cable isn't stretched out or broken or something like that, then this should work out. My problem was clearly electronic, given the symptoms, and the scanner also told me so. So if for some reason this doesn't work out for you, you might want to check your cable or your bushings or whatever. Shift cable bushings. If there are any, I don't know. I haven't looked at myself. Once you have the range sensor installed, and before you do all the work to reinstall the thermostat housing, go into the car and check the gear indicator on the dash and make sure it's still not skipping around and that it's showing the correct gear relative to the shift lever gear selection. Well, that looks like it worked. It's not skipping back and forth, it's not reading in reverse when it's in park. And I'm actually just gonna run through the gears here with the shifter. And there you go. And the check engine light went away by itself. No need to do anything else with the scanner. Still need to reset the tire pressure monitor system. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, if it helped you, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Here are some part numbers for the range sensor. Don't forget to check your coolant and make sure the level is good and bleed the system if needed. See you later. Thanks for watching.